A cactus of epic proportions has pricked the interest of buyers from all over the world. Christchurch business owner Jonny Small is the custodian of what was a 3-metre-high San Pedro cactus. The owners, whose property it was planted on 30 years ago, want to sell up. They also gave Jonny the green light to sell the cactus, with pieces ranging from $15 to hundreds of dollars. Those cactus chunks are now stacked up waiting for buyers. But a post on a Christchurch Facebook group offering the plant for sale has sprouted into a viral sensation. Our reporter Logan Church and videographer Simon Rogers went out to meet Jonny and what remains of the cactus at an undisclosed location in Christchurch.
So to start off with, Jonny, can you tell me the story of this giant cactus you've had?
Well, I'm not actually the owner of the cactus. It's owned by a friend of mine who I've been doing work at his place over several years. He planted this cactus from a root base over 30 years ago, and then it's just gone nuts from there. Unfortunately, he's had to sell the property, and he didn't want it to go into waste, so then we've cut it down and taken a whole lot of cuttings and stuff like that. So that's the reason why it's up for grabs now for cactus enthusiasts to get a piece off, you know.
For our listeners, can you describe what it looked like at its height?
She was 7 metres tall the last time it was measured. It would probably be close to 2.5 to 3 metres wide, and about 1,200 deep, with many different pups and laterals coming off it. Like I say, some of them were up to 7 metres tall, so she was a ginormous plant, you know, and 30 years old. And I believe it possibly could have been one of the biggest ones in New Zealand, just from some of the information we've been given by the Cactus Society group. So, yeah.
And you have an interest in cactus growing yourself? Cacti growing?
Yeah, I have actually. I've always liked the cactus and that, and since I've had the opportunity to cut this down, and then I've come across my prized piece, which...
what makes this prized?
It's the deformalities on this thing. As you can tell, it's not just straightforward like a lot of these other cactus that I've got down here. All the different ribs and the sections in this thing as well. You know, it's very, very well sought after, but unfortunately, it's not for sale. This is my baby that I'll be potting and keeping for many years to come. So.
Completely.
Yeah.
So what's the process from now? You've obviously cut a lot of this into very small pieces. How many pieces have you got?
Oh, I haven't got anywhere near close to finishing it yet, obviously. I've got to go through and cut the ends off. These parts here are just called tips. So as you can tell, they've got sulphur and lime on the end of them, which will then dry out the cactus, turns it into a callus, and after it does that, that's when you have the opportunity to reroot the plant and plant it, and off she'll go.
Wow. Yeah, and you've obviously put it for sale now, some of the pieces. What interest have you had?
Oh, phenomenal. It's been unreal. I've had a lot of inquiries from overseas, especially, but a lot of that, obviously, we're going to have to check through MPI and also custom regulations to whether we can legally export this to other countries.
Whereabouts have you had interest from?
Spain, Mexico, Brazil, Dakota, Canada, Massachusetts, Milwaukee. The list goes on and on and on.
Pretty much anywhere you can name, you've had someone call.
Pretty much, yeah. I've even had a guy from Afghanistan get a hold of me, which I thought was a little bit strange, but he was actually very interested in my deformed piece and wanted to pay good money for it. But
which you're not giving up.
No, it's my baby.
No.
So I'm keeping
why would people buy a piece of a cactus?
It's the genetic thing. There's a massive following for cacti throughout New Zealand and obviously throughout the world. It grows off a cutting, obviously. It doesn't take very long as well. The interest in it, you could actually get a piece of my cactus and graft it onto another cactus as well, which then you create a hybrid, which might be a fast growing and different type of cactus as well. So yeah, it's been a very big learning curve for me as well, I suppose, with all the different information and that I've been given by a lot of the Cactus Society growers and that, and yeah, it's been really good and helpful. So, yeah.
If I wanted to buy a piece, how much would that set me back?
Depending on what piece you wanted, you can have a tip piece starts at about $15 per foot, right up to single pieces and roots, which I've got, which are over 225 mil wide and about a metre tall. You're looking at about $200 for that, but the roots are very well sought after because they're the ones that actually grow the pups and actually regenerate the plant, obviously. So yeah.
And how much would you sell that one to me for?
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not even worth
Nothing?
it, mate. Yeah, no, I'd keep this one. Yeah. I do have another one like it, which I'd like $200 for, but we'll see how we go.
And that's cactus owner Jonny Small speaking to our reporter Logan Church.